The scientific discovery with Henrietta Lacks cells without her knowledge. Henrietta Lacks was a young African-American woman who never knew how much she would contribute to medical science. Born on August 1, 1920 in Roanoke, Virginia. She was raised on a tobacco farm by her grandfather and her father. When Henrietta was very young, her mother died giving birth to her 10th child, leaving her father and grandfather to raise her and her siblings. Growing up, Henrietta was known for her wit, her humor, and her love for life. She married her cousin, David Day Lacks, and they had 5 children together. The family moved north to Maryland in search of work during World War II, settling in the town of Turner Station just outside of Baltimore. In 1951, Henrietta was diagnosed with cervical cancer at the age of 30. At the time, cancer treatments were still in their infancy, and options for patients like Henrietta were limited. She was treated at Johns Hopkins Hospital, one of the top medical institutions in the country. Despite undergoing aggressive radiation therapy, Henrietta's cancer continued to progress, and she passed away in October of that year at the young age of 31. However, Henrietta's remarkable story did not end with her passing. Unbeknownst to her or her family, a small sample of her cancerous tissue had been taken during her treatment without her consent. This sample was sent to a research lab where a researcher named George Guy received her cells, and he had been attempting to grow human cells in culture for years, but had not been successful so far. But something remarkable happened with Henrietta's cells. They not only survived, they multiplied at an astonishing rate, doubling every 24 hours. Guy named them HeLa cells, after Henrietta Lacks, and they became the first human cells ever to be grown in culture. And they were alive long after Henrietta passed away on October 4, 1951, at the young age of 31. These immortal cells, now known as HeLa cells, were unlike any other cell line that had been discovered at the time. They were unusually strong and robust, greatly outlasting other cells that had been harvested from patients. The implications of this discovery were far-reaching, as HeLa cells became a vital tool in scientific research, used to study everything. HeLa cells quickly became a vital tool for medical research, helping to develop vaccine, and playing a role in breakthroughs in cancer research, in vitro fertilization, and gene mapping. But for years, the identity of the woman behind the cells was unknown, and her family had no idea that her cells were being used in research. One of the most significant applications of HeLa cells has been in the development of vaccines. In 1952, Jonas Salk used HeLa cells to develop the world's first polio vaccine, which was later tested on millions of people around the world. Later on, HeLa cells were used in the development of the HPV, human papillomavirus, vaccine, which helps to prevent cervical cancer, the same disease that took Henrietta Lacks. Cancer research is another field where HeLa cells have shown a great deal of utility. HeLa cells are used to test new cancer-fighting drugs and to understand the cellular processes that lead to cancer. They have been instrumental in studying cervical cancer, leading to a better understanding of the disease and more effective treatments for patients. According to Dr. Carl June, a professor of immunotherapy at the University of Pennsylvania, as a consequence of the HeLa cells, we have developed medicines such as carboplatin and paclitaxel, which have transformed cancer treatment. They truly are the founding mother of modern molecular medicine. It wasn't until the 1970s, more than 2 decades after Henrietta's death, that her family learned of the extraordinary role their mother and grandmother played in medical science. They were shocked to discover that Henrietta's cells had been used for research without her consent or her family's knowledge, and that billions of dollars were being made from the commercialization of her cells. One aspect of Henrietta's story that often goes untold is the adversity and challenges that she faced during her life. At a time when segregation and discrimination were rampant in the United States, Henrietta was a black woman from a poor, rural community with limited access to healthcare. Henrietta's story is a powerful one, and it highlights the complicated ethical issues that arise in medical research. Her experience raises important questions about informed consent, patient privacy, and the use of human tissue in research. Despite the challenges Henrietta faced in her life, she continues to inspire and impact the medical field even to this day. Here are the top lessons we can learn from her story. It highlights the importance of protecting patient privacy in medical research. Her cells were used without her knowledge or consent, highlighting the need for greater protections for patient privacy and autonomy. Scientific progress should not be at the expense of human dignity. Henrietta's story reminds us that medical research has the potential to change lives for the better, but this progress should not come at the expense of human dignity or the rights of patients. Henrietta's experience sheds light on the importance of informed consent in medical research. Her cells were taken without her consent or knowledge, raising important ethical concerns about the use of human tissue in medical research. In conclusion, Henrietta Lacks was an extraordinary woman whose contribution to medical science cannot be overstated. Her life was marked by adversity and challenge, but her story is ultimately one of hope, resilience, and perseverance. Henrietta's story serves as a powerful reminder of how a single individual can make a profound impact on the world, touching the lives of countless people and forever changing the course of scientific discovery. Kindly share, like, and follow us for more. Thank you for watching. Guy named them HeLa cells, after Henrietta Lacks.